Welcome to From Scratch Ranch. Here we are in the old camper, and even though it's 70 degrees outside right now, tomorrow night it's going to be 14 degrees. So I need to winterize this thing. How do I do that? I don't know. I've never done it before. But I do know that there's 4 things that I need to do. One, I need to empty the holding tanks, the black water and the gray water tanks. 2, I need to drain the water lines, both hot water and cold water. 3, I need to drain the hot water tank. And then 4th, I need to pump RV antifreeze throughout all the water lines. So, how am I going to do that? Well, I know what I need to do, I just don't know where things are at in this camper. So, let's go find out. This is the Heartland Pioneer BH270. So it's the Bunkhouse 270. Pioneer, made by the Heartland brand. Okay, the first thing I need to do is drain the holding tanks. I do have this semi-permanent plumbing that I put in out to the septic tank, to the dump station there. I don't leave the valves open all the time because you want the fluids and the solids to fill the tank first, and then you pull the valve open, let that drain out. If you left it open all the time, then all the sludge would just stick to the sides of the tank. So you don't want that. You want it to build up in the tank and then empty it periodically. So the first thing I'm going to do is pull the black water and let the black water drain. There, you can hear it and smell it. Okay, next I need to pull the gray water valve, and I'm going to do this second so that way it flushes any nastiness out of the pipes with the cleaner water. So I'm just going to let that trickle out for now. We'll come back later and close those valves up before we put the antifreeze in. Okay, second, I need to drain the water lines, both hot and cold. I do have a hot and cold shutoff valve underneath here, so I'm going to turn both of those open. So the hot water and cold water shutoff valves are right under here, as indicated by the red and blue pipes. So we'll just turn both these valves open. Okay, and let those drain. So although I do have the hot water valve down below to drain the hot water, that just drains it out of the hot water lines. I still need to drain the water heater tank, which is going to be behind this panel here where it says hot. This just opens up like so, and you've got all your controls in here, and then there's this valve right down in here that I need to open. It's just a plastic nut that's in there. So you don't want to use the pressure relief valve there. You want to use this down here. So just use a socket if you got that size for that, or a channel lock. Channel lock might tear up the plastic nut. So we'll go ahead and just turn this now. I've already loosened it with the wrench. Ooh, there comes the water. We'll drain all that water out of the hot water tank. So now that the hot water tank has been drained, we need to go inside and try to find the hot water tank to see where it's at, so we could bypass it with the RV antifreeze that we need to pump through the system, because we don't want to fill that 10-gallon tank with RV antifreeze. So let's go find that. Okay, so the most logical place for the hot water tank is going to be right here on the other side of this wall. So that's the kitchen window. So let's go right inside. Okay, so the hot water tank was on that wall outside, right there on the other side of that window. So that means it's probably down here underneath the stove oven area. So there is this panel here, and there's just a couple screws. So we'll just remove those screws and see what's back there. Oh, that was easy. Okay, yeah, it looks like there is the tank right there. So this is the hot water tank underneath the oven here, and it looks like there's already the bypass valve, which is great. I thought I was gonna have to go to the store and buy one, so that's good that it's already installed. So in order to bypass the hot water tank, we just need to turn these valves to shut it off to the tank and let it bypass. Let me get this upper one. Okay. So we got both valves open for the line bypassing the tank. So now I need to find the water pump, which it looks like it's back in there. little difficult to get at. And I need to see if there's a hose, another bypass hose attached to it, where I can put that hose into the bottle of RV antifreeze and pump the antifreeze into the system. So, well, how do I get back there? I wonder if I could maybe take this panel out right here. Oh yeah, that's loose. Let me just take that out and see if I can get back there. Just 2 screws into the floor here. Looks like I could just lift this whole thing. Yep. There we go. Just pull it out. There's the pump. So I've got the pump there, right in here. So that's the water pump that will pump water. So it looks like the blue line here is coming from the tank down below. Comes here, here's the shutoff valve. So it feeds through here, circles around through there into the pump, and then pumps it throughout the system. So this right here is that bypass line I need. There's a shutoff valve here. It looks like this is just an open, so I can just pull this out. I can just put this end into the antifreeze bottle, open this valve here, shut off that valve there, and then turn the pump on and pump the RV antifreeze through the system. So let's do it. So we're gonna turn this valve off. And that turns the water off from the holding tank. We'll turn this one on so that the RV antifreeze will flow through here and into the pump. All right, before we pump the antifreeze into the lines, I need to go shut off the holding tanks, shut those valves so that way I don't dump the antifreeze right down into the tanks and through out to the septic system. So just push those in. Go. Now it's time for the antifreeze. So this is the pink stuff. Definitely want to use the pink stuff, not the green stuff. The pink stuff is safe to put through water lines. Don't use the green stuff. This is meant for RVs and potable water lines. So go ahead and put the hose in. And then we're going to turn the pump back on. And let me shut off, I'll make sure everything's shut off because I want to open them all up one at a time. Off, off, off. Let's turn the pump back on. Oh, and it's sucking it down, look at that. Turn this on. So it turns pink. There it goes. Off. Hot. Okay. Now look at this, all that water in there. Okay. Hot. Good. Shower. Now the toilet. Okay. And we'll go do the shower outside. Well, that's all there is to it. So now all that's left is just to put everything back in place, clean up, and shut her down for the winter. So until next time, keep living the dream.